so Natarajasana, burning ring of fire, like destruction, like letting everything go. And so like I started doing drop backs, you know, and what this all happens, you guys, is it's these arm overhead, right? Type openness in the shoulders. Our arms back behind us is a total different type of shoulder opening, right? That's shoulder opening for like bridge pose and shoulder stand. This type of opening is for like wheel pose, right? Things like that, for Natarajasana, for grabbing the foot. But what I want us to be focused on today is whenever I try to come into anything doing with opening my arms, like Pinchamayurasana. So this is supposed to be a 180-degree angle, meaning like a straight line, meaning like all the way open. Okay. But in order to do that, what usually we do is lift our bottom front ribs up. And so what you see is that the angle doesn't change. I just lift my ribs and it looks like my arm is opening and going up. Does that make sense? Thumbs up, right? So a lot of times a teacher will say, take your arms up overhead. This is how open your shoulders are, but then you cheat and you go like this, and it looks like the arms are up overhead, but nothing changed. So the whole idea of today's practice is going to be keeping those bottom ribs in and letting the shoulder actually start to open. Okay, cool. So coming to sit in Vajrasana. Okay, so toes are pointed back. Sitting on your heels. Closing your eyes. This whole class, we will be moving, we'll be flowing. And if there's anything that you would like to kind of like drop into this like fire of heat, this fire of destruction, right? You leave it behind. We'll leave it here on the mat. Actually, like if it was Denise's birthday, this is a great time for that. Like leave the past behind. It's kind of like that rebirth. A lot of this is kind of like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. 3 breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again, inhale. Exhale. As your eyes float open, sweep your arms around behind you. Take Kali Mudra up overhead. So Kali Mudra, interlace your fingers. Index finger is free. Okay. So I always find that in Kali Mudra, that actually gives me a little bit more space because I can kind of tightly squeeze my hands together. I have some resistance there. Pulling your arm bones back, and now look towards your belly button or look towards the bottom tip of your sternum, pulling your side ribs back. Move your arm bones back even further and then lift the gaze. Inhale, squeezing the arms to straight, and exhale, release. Good, roll out your shoulders there. And one more time, flip your palms, arms up, interlace fingers, Kali Mudra. And so technically, you guys, I'm looking to try to get the pinky edge sides of the hands together to touch as well. Look towards your navel, draw slightly in, side ribs are back, and then see if you can pull the arm bones back further, trying to open the armpits to that 180-degree opening. Lift your chin, inhale. Exhale, bring your palms together to touch. Bend your elbows, bringing your fingertips down your back. So I'm giving you a side body view. Notice if your elbows splay out like a V. I want you to think that your elbows draw in, draw those bottom ribs, get a little bit, and I'm going to say it a lot today, get a little bit of that like cat-like action. Straighten your arms. Can you keep your palms together? 1. Bend your elbows, press palms, bottom ribs are in, squeeze the belly button back. Palms up, press them for 2. Keep going. So I want you to see if you can keep the chin out of the chest. So you're not actually letting your head dip forward. Instead, you're letting the shoulders open. 3. Yeah, notice if the hands want to separate, all the movement comes from the triceps. And 4. Good. Release from there. Hips forward. Toes stand. Tuck your toes under. Good. If you have a block, right, you could grab a block. Put your hands on the short ends of the block. If you don't have a block, that's fine. But elbows are drawing in. Okay, so imagine you're holding a block, Denise, between your hands and between your elbows. Good. And then from there, pull your upper arm bones back, trying to get your forearms parallel to the ceiling. Can you look towards your navel? Can you pull your side ribs back and in? Good. And then release. Nice. Remove the block. Take your elbows forward, flex your hands, think almost like chaturanga arms, looking at your elbows, keep them drawing in, circle them all the way back. See where your ribs start to pop out, and then all the way around. 1. Wrap that forward, elbows in. Pull the biceps back past your ears. Where's the movement coming from, right? It's just a question, right? Is it coming from the ribs? Or do you really feel it coming from your shoulders? Elbows are pinned in. Sometimes you've had teachers like put straps there, pulling back. Notice where your sticky spot is, and then rotate all the way around. Good. Come back up into kneeling, taking your knees hip width distance apart. Take your block if you have it. Plant the hands on the short edges of the block. Now, we keep the outer knee, the outer hip, and the outer shoulder in a line. Pull that block up and back. So this is preparing you guys for like a forearm stand. Curl the tailbone forward. Draw the belly button back in, and then just from your knees, hinge back. So don't break through the hips, right? Feel your quadriceps fire and hinge back. 1. Inhale. Curl the tailbone forward as you start to drop back, feeling the quadriceps fire. Yep. And so notice if you kind of break at your low back or at your hips, try to keep that all stable like in a plank. Elbows are in for 4. And 1 more, you guys. This should fire us up. This should get us warmed up quickly. And for 5. Walk down to the mat. Plant your hands. Downward facing dog. Walk that back. Press that out. So when we do our down dogs today, let's put a lot of focus on the triceps, right? Thinking that the tricep lengthen. Inhale. Exhale, step right foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. You're going to go right from there and bring your back left knee down into a 90-90 lunge. Right? And when I say that, I mean left hip over left knee. Bring the back of your left hand onto your sacrum. Right? So that you can bring some awareness there. And as your tailbone curls forward, lift all the way up. Hips are in neutral. Pulling that right thumb back. And as you drive down from left hip into your left knee, can you reach up more through right fingertips? Inhale there. Exhale, hand to the mat. Press back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Back right knee down, right knee underneath right hip. Back of your right hand onto your sacrum. Feel your hips posteriorly tilt as you lift all the way up. If it ever helps you guys, if you ever need it, sometimes I take that hand, it's almost like getting punched in the stomach, right? I feel that I'm like lacing my bottom ribs together. And I keep that as I pull left arm alongside left ear. So it's like tailbone hooking forward, bottom sternum tipping in, bring it all together, hands to the mat, press back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Lower your back left knee, 90-90. This time, right hand onto the back of your sacrum. Scoop it forward, posterior tilt. Use your glutes as you lift all the way up. Press those bottom front ribs down and in. Interlace your fingers. Go Mukasana. Left fingertips down your back. Right fingertips up, chin to chest, round in. Think cat pose. 1. Inhale, keep looking towards your navel. Imagine shoelaces on your bottom ribs, tightening in for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Lift that back up to center. Plant your palms. This time, as you plant your palms, bend your elbows towards a hovering dolphin. Some teachers call this like a turbo dog. Like my elbows are hovering a few centimeters off the mat. Sometimes I make you hold a block between your elbows. Fire up your triceps. Straighten your arms. Straighten your legs. Downward facing dog. A lot of power from your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, step. Left foot forward, up in between your hands. Lunge. Back, right knee down. Left hand back of the sacrum. Pull it forward, tuck in, right arm up. As that right arm reaches, bend both elbows, clasp. Go Mukasana. If you can't get it, that's fine. Look for your t-shirt and then round in. Okay, so that's protraction of your upper back. Tailbone is scooping forward. 3, more glute action. 2, 1. Lift the head, open the chest, use your head, press your tricep back. Hands to the mat, elbows wrap in, biceps forward, hover your dolphin. Right, so just a few centimeters. My knees are really bent, you guys. Good, so I can get down and in there. Elbows 1 centimeter off the mat as you straighten your arms and legs. Downward facing dog. Nice, Blair, good. Inhale. Exhale, please lift right leg up and back. 3-legged down dog. I don't want you to worry about alignment. I want you to kick and just pulse that right leg up. Like little kicks up towards the ceiling. Keep your left foot down and you're just swinging that right leg up. Big kicks for 5. Use your butt muscle. 4. Yep, kick up higher. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift right leg as high as you can. Shift forward, right knee in towards your nose. Round as you shift forward into plank. Step, right foot forward, up in between your hands. Lunge, nicely done, good. Everybody bend that left knee, but this time, hover it. Hovering 90-90. Curl the tailbone forward, lift to rise, high lunge. Front ribs are in, side waist side is drawing back. Kali Mudra in front of you. Inhale, Kali Mudra. Exhale, twist to the right. 1. Inhale, center. Again to the right. 2. Kind of cutting through this tightness. 1 more. Left knee's hovering. Lots of core control. Coming back to center. Plant the palms. Downward facing dog. So probably not the only one. You should have some burning in your legs. Walk your hands back towards your feet at the back of your mat. Interlace the hands behind the base of your skull. Lift your elbows out wide until you feel your shoulder blades knit onto your upper back. Bend your knees, look forward, pull the chin away from your chest. Yeah, so see if you can find more of a cow pose there in your spine as you press to stand. Release your hands, Tadasana. Inhale, full stretch, arms up. Exhale from the back of your mat, dive in, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Walk your hands, top of your mat, downward facing dog. From your down dog, knees to the mat, elbows down, press your palms. Puppy dog pose with your elbows bent, fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. As much as you want to, you guys, you walk your knees back, you pull your hips back, and as you pull that bottom tip of your sternum in, you want to try to open that tricep armpit connection. 1, squeeze the elbows in, press the palms for 2. Inhale. And exhale for 3. Knees walk forward, plant palms. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. See if the upper back feels a little more like integrated, like broader as you get the power from your upper back into your arms. Lift, left leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. With your left leg lifted, you guys, kick and kind of pulse that out. See if you can loosen it up by kicking the leg up for 5, 4, keep it straight, lift it in 3-legged down dog, 2, 1. Inhale, lift it as high as you can. Shift forward, left knee in towards your nose. Use your core as you round. Step, left foot forward. Lunge, nice, Yasmin, good. Everybody hover that back right knee, 90-90. Curling the tailbone forward, lift to rise. Squeeze your inner thighs. Kali Mudra, so that is literally your sword. Cut through the old as you twist to the left. 1. With breath, inhale, slow it down, tailbone forward. Pay attention to your ribs for 2. Good, little burn in the legs, so you're getting stronger. You're letting go of kind of some past weakness as you come back to center. Plant your palms, press back, downward facing dog. Should feel like a nice relief. Inhale. Exhale, we are moving constantly today. Walk your hands to the back of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back, stretch that out. Exhale, fold in. Can you wiggle in slightly deeper, tucking in the bottom ribs as soon as they touch your thighs? Interlace the hands behind the base of your skull. Wide elbows, look forward. Think cow pose now. As you press to stand, release. Step that forward, top of your mat. Mountain pose. Okay. Press your hands in front of your heart center in Anjali Mudra. And so that fire, that heat, you guys, that is the burning off of the old tightness, old emotions, old feelings that we kind of have stored in the body. Thank you guys that this is forearm stand, flipped upside down. Your palms are pressing. You've done all that work so far to pull in. And now take your prayer up overhead, pulling your arm bones back like I was trying to teach you at the beginning of class. So everything stays in a straight line, forearms parallel to the ceiling. Exhale, bow in, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Exhale, your choice, step or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, please pull that forward, up dog. Lift hips, roll over toes. Down dog. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Look where you want to land. Float that forward. Inhale, open the chest. So as the body gets looser, maybe you feel lighter. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Circle the arms around and up. As you circle them around and up, think like an arrow. Press the palms at the top. Can you press at the top? Press through the pinky edge side of the hand. Where do you feel that kind of path of least resistance? Where are you bending? And then pull the thumbs down to your heart center. One more round. Elbows wrap in. Pull the bottom ribs in, stay connected to core, and work on that shoulder mobility, you guys. Yep, chin is away from your chest. Inhale. Exhale, bow in, Uttanasana, forward fold. Lengthen half flat back. Exhale, plant palms, chaturanga. Open the chest there. Feel that right at the base of your heart. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. So I do always kind of micro bend my elbows. I focus on wrapping the triceps back, straight arms, stretch. Look toward your hands. Step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale to open. Exhale, fold. Circle the arms around and up. Can we connect to the pinky edge side of the hand as you look up, thinking like an arrow kind of slicing through? Thumbs down to your heart center. All right, new flow, arms up, inhale. So every time I do that, right, my ribs lift and you keep them more stable. Exhale, fold in. Look forward, half flat back, lengthen. Step your left leg back into a lunge. Lower your back, left knee down, 90-90. Right hand on the inside of your right foot. Can you come down into a lizard lunge? Okay, so sometimes we move that left knee back deeper, but when you're in this position, it should give you a good awareness of cat in your spine. Posteriorly tilt your pelvis and feel your bottom ribs tuck in. One. Inhale. Exhale for two. Breathe in. Breathe out. Straight arm, come up onto your hands, plant your palms, right knee back, tabletop. Toes are tucked under, directly into cat pose. So you want those two frontal hip points, you guys, narrowing together, squeezing, and now keep cat. Can you come down onto your elbows? Yeah. Good, so the kidney area should feel broad, and now with your toes tucked under, lift your knees, hover, 5, 4, 3, looking towards your belly button, scoop the tailbone forward. Dolphin pose, straighten your legs. Okay, so much of today's class is about getting those arm bones to move into the back plane of your body. So your shoulders open, and this is how we get into deeper back bends as our chest opens. Now look forward, look between your hands. Can you bend your knees as you look forward? And as you straighten your legs, you lift your elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, nice flare, good. There we go, up dog. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Right foot steps outside edge of right hand, lizard lunge. Right hand on the back of your skull, elbow is wide. Squeeze your inner thighs, twist open to the right. That's your inhale. Right elbow taps down inside edge of right foot as you exhale. There you go. 1. Inhale, open, twist. Exhale, tap, touch, get low, nice DDM, good. Push the floor with your feet, with your hand open, and exhale, tap. Reach the right elbow up towards the ceiling, straighten your right arm, look up, stretch up. Fingertips to the mat, back foot steps forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold in. Circle your arms around and up, think an arrow as you press up, glute squeeze in. Maybe you do Kali Mudra if that helps you to really tuck and find lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, open, half flat back. Right foot steps back, lunge. Back right knee down, 90-90. Left fingertips inside edge. Slide down on the inside of that left shin bone. Lizard lunge from 90 degrees. So you keep your hips high. Notice if everything kind of rocks or shifts to the right. Push down more through your left elbow. Curl the tailbone, you guys, posterior tilt. 1. Inhale, press through left elbow for 2. Inhale, let's open the hips. Let's get them a little bit lighter. Walk up, straight arms, plant palms. Left leg circles back, tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, strong cat, curl the tailbone. Stretch the entire posterior chain. Can you keep cat pose as you drop down onto your elbows? Good, Didam. Yep, as you drop down onto your elbows, reestablish a very strong cat. Look at your knees, hover your knees 1 centimeter. 5. I pretend like I'm holding a block between my knees, more lower abdominals. Some of you know that as Mula Bandha for 3, 2, 1. Straighten your legs, dolphin pose. So all of class, this idea about opening the armpits, stretch out your triceps. The longest muscles in the body are on the back of the body, right? Your hamstrings are long, your triceps are long. Stretch them out here. Look forward towards your hands. Bend your knees. Can you simultaneously lift your elbows as you straighten your legs? Chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward. Nice. Up dog. Lift hips. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps outside edge of left hand. Lizard lunge. Left hand holds the back of the head. Pivot the weight into that right shoulder. Twist open. Use the back of your head pressing into the hand to get more of a back bend. And then tap down, round 1. Inhale, open. Exhale, tap. Ujjayi breathing last 1. Inhale. Maybe a little more opening. Exhale, tap. So we're going to do back bends, you guys. And the more you twist, the more easy it is to get into a back bend. Take your left arm up, reach. Hand to the mat. Back foot steps forward, feet are hip width distance apart. Last part, and then we're going to take a little break. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Okay, from your fold, you guys grab opposite arm, opposite elbow. So much of today's class is about getting your arms over your head. So begin to lift your elbows in front of you, bending your knees, drop your head through. So I like to think that my elbows are on a table. Yeah, so Blair, lift your elbows up as high as your hips. Pretend that your elbows, Didam, are on a table in front of you. Bend your knees and let your chest drop through. Hold your elbows, come up, Utkatasana. Yeah, use your hands. Pull your arm bones back, big armpits. We start to back bend. Inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Look forward, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, Adho. Right foot steps forward up in between your hands. Back left heel spins to flat. Kali Mudra, arms up. In your warrior 1, take it now into as much of a back bend as you want. So that's going to mean ribs are going to have to get involved. Spine, arms, pull it back. Inhale. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Low lunge. This is going to be hard for all of us. Back left knee down. Shiva squat. Left foot rotates in. So in Shiva squat, right? Got my right knee bent. I'm sitting on my left heel. Now, yeah, there you go, Didam. Good. Now, thread the needle pose. So that means right fingertips in front of you, left arm under. Can you guys? So I actually hold my mat because otherwise I'm going to fall over. I hold my mat and I try to see if I can roll and bring my left shoulder and my left ear all the way down onto the floor. Yeah, so that should be a big twist. You could maybe even like hold your right ankle if you wanted to and try to squeeze in, spreading your inner thighs. Release. Turn towards the top of your mat. Press up. Downward facing dog. Good job. Hopefully a new pose for you guys that gets a lot done. Inhale forward into plank. Bend elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Lift hips, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward up in between your hands. Right heel spins to flat. Warrior 1 with your arms in Kali Mudra. Cut back, arch back. It should actually feel good after all that, like not letting the ribs go. Take it to your full extension. Hands to the mat. Lift your back right heel. Right knee down, 90-90. Right heel spins in so you can sit on your right heel for a Shiva squat. So Shiva, Shiva, Shiva all day today. Left fingertips forward. Right arm threads under, and can you roll down onto your right ear and your right shoulder? So Yasmin, this can be a nice like Skandasana prep, right? It's got a lot of the stuff going on to help with Skandasana. Nice. 3, tuck in. Can you tap the ear? Can you tap the shoulder? Upper back is broad. Coming back to center. Downward facing dog. So first part of class was trying to teach you how to get your armpits open. Second part of class, we've got to get your hips a little bit more open. Step, right foot forward, lunge. Good. Lower your back, left knee down. Right elbow, right knee. Left arm reaches back. Same arm, same foot. Quadricep stretch. All right, so technically, we want to be turning more forward, but this is our first one, you guys. So, right, don't worry too much about it. I use my right hand on my right knee. So feel like you're lifting up out of the pose. The more tailbone and the more front ribs you actually control, the deeper the stretches you're going to feel in your quadricep. Fingertips to the mat. Lift your back left knee. Look forward. Shoot your left leg through. Come all the way to lie down. Step your feet into the mat. Elbows up, hands alongside your ears. Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel pose. So your armpits and your upper back should be pretty open. Think that you're trying to pull your arms back past your ears. 3, 2, 1. Chin to chest, lower down. You take your time, your choice. Rock forward, plant palms, either down dogs, or if you have the power today, you guys move through the vinyasa and kind of clear that out. Good. Nice, Idam. Yeah, exactly. Good. There you go, Denise. Downward facing dog. And we meet there. If you guys want to start to let the center of your head come down towards the center of your mat, might feel kind of nice and gooey today to kind of drop in a bit more. Left foot steps between your hands, lunge. Good. Back right knee down. Left elbow, left knee. So if we care, so it's called Ekaraja Kapotasana, right? As we start to fold that back leg in. You guys know that if you want your front body to open, you have to contract your back body. So can you contract your right hamstring? Can you contract your right glute as you turn into this one? How's the work through the tailbone, through your front ribs? Kind of cut through that tightness. Fingertips to the mat, back knee lifts. Let's hover in our lunge. Look forward. Can you shoot that through? Bend your knees. Lie all the way down. So why wait, you guys, for our wheels at the very end when you're out of power? You're right in the middle of class. Plant your hands alongside your ears, or I should say you're more than halfway done. Elbows up, toes in, heels out. Lift from the hamstrings, lift from the glutes. Urdhva Dhanurasana. 1. Inhale, look towards your hands. Try to drive your heart from the power of your legs to the back of the room for 2. So it's your legs that push your heart open. Chin to chest. Release. If you want it, knees hug in, rock forward. Chaturanga. We meet. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your stomach. Point your toes. All right. Squeeze right heel in towards right butt cheek. So you're bending your right knee. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Inhale up, cobra. From your cobra, left knee underneath your left hip, right leg up and back. Nice, Edam, good. Lift that right leg. Remember, we were like doing those pulsing kicks, so use your butt muscles. Bend your right knee, left hand goes back. Grab your ankle and try to open here. Yep, so we're turning forward. Instead of just looking with the chin, you guys, think to lift with your chest. Keep the leg lifted. Left hand plants. Tuck left toes. Three-legged down dog. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee in towards your nose, round towards plank. Step. Right foot forward up in between your hands. Shift forward, bend left knee. Reach back with left hand. Take the inside of your left ankle. So my left hand is on the inside. Right arm up. Shift forward. A variation of Natarajasana. Good. Kicking back. Lifting your chest. Inhale. Exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Left leg steps back. Plank. Pose. As you there from plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Find your up dog, you guys. Big back bend here. Hips lift. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Bend elbows, lower all the way down. Point toes. Left knee bends. Squeeze left heel into left sitting bone. Feel your hamstrings fire. Push into your hands. Cobra pose in your chest. Shoulders are back. Elbows are bent. Right knee steps in 90-90 underneath that right hip. Left leg, reach it up and back. Squeeze through the left glute. Can you lift that leg higher? Bend left knee. Right hand reaches back. Find the back bend here, you guys. Kick up and back. One. Power through the glutes. Two. Inhale. Exhale for three. Keep left leg lifted. Plant your right hand. Tuck your right toes. Three-legged down dog. Inhale, split legs, nice and high. Exhale, round in, knee to nose. Clear out your low back. Step, left foot forward. Keep shifting your weight as you lift to rise. Right knee bends. Right hand reaches back. Grab the inside of your right ankle. Left arm up. Open that armpit. Shift, you guys. Natarajasana. So a variation. One. Gazes forward. Two. Pop the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades. And release with control. Right foot all the way back. Step back. Downward facing dog. We take a vinyasa. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva. Lots of back bending there. Hips up and back. Knees to the mat. Come down onto your elbows. Turn your palms up. If you have a block and you like to put the block on the pinky edge side of your hands with your palms facing up, child's pose. So your arms are stretching forward. Palms are turning open. Yep, and even here you have that little tucking in of your bottom ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Nice, you guys. All right, so if you have a strap today, this is going to be your opportunity to use a strap. So I have my strap, and if you don't, no worries, right? There's plenty of places where I'll show you where you can be. Downward, facing dog. Hello, nice to see you. Inhale, right leg up and back, bend, right knee, open the hip, you guys. So let that even be a back bend here, like melt. I like to think that the top of my head is sinking down towards the center of my mat. Just let that kind of be gooey. Step, right foot forward between your hands. Lunge, right? So whenever we do back bends, you guys, lunges are a great way to open the back hip. Put the back knee down. Now, if you don't have a strap, you're just going to repeat what we did before, okay? So you're just going to work quad. If you have the strap goes across the top of the left foot. The hand goes through the circle. We don't hold on to the tail. We hold on to the loop, and then we try to rotate, and that's that arm up overhead. Yeah, there you go, Blair. It's called flipping your grip. 1. Sometimes I take my right fingertips down to the floor, Blair, for better balance. 2. Wherever you are, squeeze the butt muscles, sink deep into the hips. And release. Lift back left knee. Look forward. Shoot. Left leg through. Come all the way down, plant your hands, less thinking, more doing, right? So don't overthink it, toes in, heels out, plant your palms, arms up, overhead, back bend. 1. Inhale, power from your upper back. I think that my feet are trying to stretch my mat forward. As my feet try to stretch my mat forward, it pushes my heart backwards. 2. Straight arms, you guys, squeeze your triceps like we were doing in Kali Mudra. Chin to chest. Come on down. Knees draw in, your choice. Meet me in the vinyasa or downward facing dog. Pull that forward. Down dog. Left foot steps forward, up in between your hands. Work the lunge, you guys. Keep working your inner thighs apart. Keep splitting your knees. Back right knee down. Maybe even just some of your work on the second side is seeing if the right knee can go back deeper. We lift the chest, and then you decide, do you use the strap, right? Or maybe you're just working back with that right hand. But today, right, if you've got the strap, we're trying to work that arm up, overhead, back bend. Can we see how that's part of Natarajasana? Let's open the armpit, that 180 degree. 1. Inhale, where are you catching your breath? 2. Good. Sink forward and down with your hips. Release. Fingertips to the mat. Push the floor as the back knee lifts. You get a little bit of core there, right? So you feel your lower abdominals lifting. Shoot. Right leg through. Core again. Come to lie down. Okay, this is your last wheel pose. Heels in, toes out. Elbows up. I like to arch my back first, like a cow pose. So I feel my back muscles engaging. Then lift the hips. Feel the glutes working, the hamstrings as you press up. And can you stretch your mat forward with your feet? And if you try to press your mat forward with your feet, what does that do to your armpits and your chest? 3, 2, 1, chin to chest, lower flow. Knees draw in. Vinyasa or down dog. So I like to jump back just because it kind of uses my core a little bit, and it kind of helps me clear out some of that back bending stuff. Sitting bones are rotating up towards the ceiling. Last flow, you guys. Inhale forward into plank. Bend your elbows. Come all the way down. Point toes. Squeeze right heel in towards right sitting bone. Keep that engagement of back body. Lift your chest. That's actually a pretty big back bend, right? Left knee draws in. Right leg shoots back. Good. And then as you lift that right leg even higher from the power of your glute, bend your right knee. Okay. Reach back, grab your ankle, or you could take the strap. So I consider these, you guys, all Natarajasana prep poses, right? Because this is nice because it takes the balancing element out a little bit. And release. Left hand down, left toes tuck. Push that up and back, three-legged down dog, please. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, draw right knee in towards your nose. That should help clear out your low back. Step right foot forward. Okay, lift to stand. You've got your option holding the inside. You've got your option using your strap or Natarajasana. Sometimes I even bend that right knee, you guys, and I put my right hand on my right thigh, so I can just kind of hang out a little bit longer. Or sometimes I put a chair there. Release. Downward facing dog. Okay, so right, so Natarajasana is not one of the, I mean, it's called like, you know, it's opposed to Shiva. It's destruction. It really destroys our ego, right? Because it's not easy. Single leg, standing balance, back bend, and an arm up overhead back bend are the hardest kind. Last round, forward into plank. We're skipping that vinyasa. Come down onto your stomach. Okay. Point toes. Press the pubic bone down. That should help you keep your low back long. Squeeze your left heel in. A lot of hamstring as you squeeze. Push the floor. Lift your chest. Right? So this is called Hamsa Asana. Well, actually Ardha, because you're only doing half, right? You're going to tip your head back towards your toes. Slide. Right knee underneath right hip. Left leg goes up and back. Okay, so we're going to think of this as like our Natarajasana, but taking out the balance. Left knee bends. You can use your right hand or your strap. Bicep next to your ear. Maybe even the elbow back behind your head. 3, 2, tip forward. Excellent, you guys. Release. Left leg stays lifted. Tuck right toes. Three-legged down dog. Inhale. Exhale, left knee in towards your nose. Go slow enough that you curl the tailbone forward, that you clear out your low back. Please step left foot forward. When you're ready, you could take the strap as you come up. And last side, last version, Natarajasana. Grab your inner ankle if you like. Right, tipping forward. Or use the strap, arm up overhead. 1. Yep, big pose. 2. So your left foot is standing on your ignorance. That's what you're standing on. You're standing on your ignorance. You're burning it away as you release. Step back. Downward facing dog. Final vinyasa of class. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, loop shoulders back down and together. Hips lift. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Dandasana over your right leg. So bending the right knee. Left toes turn up. And then if you guys would like to walk your hands forward and kind of bow in. Yep. Yeah. Right heel heavy. This should help clear out your low back. Nice, Suba. Yeah, so that's what's nice about it is if you reach forward, sometimes you can find that balanced place. Good. Turn back, top of your mat. Heel toe your right foot over to the left. Pigeon pose. Let's make sure we just clear out the low back, you guys. folding in. So a lot of people don't do it this way, but really pigeon should have a little bit of that posterior tilt of your pelvis, that little lift of your abdominal wall that then allows you to stretch your sternum forward. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Downward facing dog. Right, so, and wherever you are in your life, right, we all have our own kind of like trials and tribulations, like our own little fires, our own little tests. And we really invoke Shiva when we want to like rise out of that challenge, like renewed, restored. Step left foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. We're going to stay at the top of the mat as you rotate your right toes up towards the ceiling, dropping the hips down. Go ahead and round. If you have a block nearby and then you can't find your balance, you could always put a block underneath your hips or a block underneath your heel, right? Because this is more of like your cool down. You don't have to do like a ton of energy here. Yeah. Yeah, so here comes all the Turkish people at 7 o'clock. I had a bad feeling this is gonna happen. Yeah, and then as you turn forward towards the top of your mat, pigeon pose, folding over your front leg. So Kidim John, right? There was daylight savings time. Okay, but I'm gonna be with you guys in 5 minutes, okay? I'll reteach the class, okay? I think there's too many people who are gonna come in late. So just give me 5 minutes and we'll get started. Okay, so fold in here. Once you feel your low back is cleared, shift all the weight into your left hip, swing that back right leg around. Nice, you guys. And then you'll come down. I'd like you to take a happy baby pose, holding your inner heels. And if for any reason after all that you do have some low back stuff, you could lift your head, right? You could lift your hips, kind of stretch out the low back a little bit more there. And then release. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs for Shavasana. Deepen your breath. And then you guys, as you stretch your arms up overhead, do you kind of have any new awareness of that like arm up overhead style back? Bending your knees. Roll to your right. And find seated. Sweep your arms around and up like we did at the beginning of class. Kali Mudra, squeeze through your outer armpits. Nice, bottom ribs tuck in. Hands in front of your heart. Inhale. Thumbs to your third eye, you guys, bowing forward to seal your practice. Hi, Siddhartha. This all started, I don't know if you guys know that like March 11th, so last week, is like the day to Mahashiva, right? It's the day that in India and in the Hindu religion, they honor Shiva. And I went to a class and they did all this chanting, Om Namah Shivaya, which you probably heard, and it really kind of sparked me to kind of develop this class dedicated to Shiva. So Shiva is the destroyer, okay? And so a lot of times we need to destroy things in our lives, right? We need to destroy old thought patterns and habits, right? In order to make way for the new. Like you've heard the, you know the stories of like the phoenix rising out of the ashes, very similar stories, right? But then Shiva, in one of his incarnations, comes back as Nataraja, and Nataraja is the lord of the dance. And so we're going to be working towards this single leg standing back bend, big pose. But what I want to say about it before we begin is that when you're doing Natarajasana, this is just a modification, that standing leg, if you ever see it depicted, if you ever see a pose, it's standing on ego. There's this little crumpled creature underneath the foot of Shiva, and it's your ego. And so no matter what this pose ends up looking like today, you're supposed to be crushing and destroying your ego and actually dancing in that. The freedom that comes from letting go of all of those identities that we think we have. That's my theme. This is what we're going to be doing for the first part of class, and it's pretty specific. Okay, what happens when we do arm up overhead back bend, which is what Natarajasana is people have a certain ability to flex the shoulder joint. So you can see that this angle is this open, okay? Then when the teacher says, take your arms up overhead, they don't move from shoulder mobility, they move from rib mobility. And the arm points up towards the ceiling, but the angle didn't change. My shoulders and my tricep didn't get any more open, right? I'm just getting stuck. And then I'm moving from where I already am flexible, which is my low back and particularly my ribs. So the beginning of class is going to be a lot about squeezing this in, thinking like a corset or like shoelaces, so that if this stays in, all of the opening comes from the shoulder, okay? So this is a big class. There's a ton of movement. We don't really stop because we need heat. We need fire for these big back bends. I'm putting you all on mute. Good luck. See you in an hour. Enjoy. So I'm actually going to face you, and as long as you can see your camera well, sitting back on your heels, Vajrasana. Shoulders are pressing down and back. So it's all the, unless you want to be sitting on your toes, we're not in toe stand. Our toes are, unless you want, right? We're gonna get there in a second. Okay. And then eyes are closed. So we all have a lot of identities, a lot of labels. And those confine us to the past. Base class, letting go of those identities. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Let your eyes float open. Stretch your arms out to the side. Circle the arms around and up. Bend your elbows. Kali Mudra. So that's all of your fists coming together, leaving your index finger free. Specifically pressing through the pinky edge side of your hand as you straighten your arms. So what you're going to see is that the pinky edge side likes to peel open because of tricep shortness, and that's normal. But we're trying to squeeze through the triceps, press your biceps right behind your ears. So almost all of class, we're going to be trying to move the arms back past the ears. Now, look down towards the bottom tip of your sternum, which is your breastbone. See if you can pull that in. Yeah, nice, Jasmine. Pull the side waistline back. I don't love the visual, you guys, but it's almost like you're being punched in the stomach. So you pull that back, and then can you stretch your arm bones up even more? Lift your chin. Inhale, think like an arrow piercing up. Exhale, release the arms. Roll out your shoulders. So that's a big part of today's class. Arms out to the side, arms up, bend elbows. When you bend your elbows, right, you should be able to interlace. Squeeze through the pinky edge side, arms up, Kali Mudra. Okay, so I like to think of the space between my bottom ribs and the top of my hips, that soft part where your obliques are. I like to imagine that there's almost like a strap pulling that backward. There you go, Yasmin. Yeah. Or I pretend like there's a teacher with the strap across my bottom ribs, pulling my bottom ribs towards the back of the room so I keep the kidney area full as you pull those arm bones back. Nice, you guys. Release. From there, arms up, press your palms in prayer, right? So notice how when you don't get to take Kali Mudra, it's much harder to press your palms in prayer. Bend your elbows, pull the fingertips down between your upper back. Did your elbows splay open like a V? Did you pop your ribs? Keep the chin away from your chest. Fingertips point up towards the ceiling, prayer pose. Urdhva Hastasana, extended hand pose. Bend your elbows, prayer. Press the palms together. Does your chin collapse in? Everything else stays stable. Stretch your arms to straight, squeezing your triceps for 2. Nice, you guys, like someone's pulling the ribs back. 1 more. Press the palms, bend the elbows, lengthen through the triceps. Extend your arms. And release. Do 20 of those, right? That's really hard. Shift forward, tuck your toes under. Now toe stand. There you go, Selda. Good. And then in toe stance, take your arms out, cactus arms, and then bring your elbows together in front of you. A lot of you know this is like forearm stand, right? This is the same shape as chaturanga. Flip your wrists like we're holding up the ceiling together. Now, if we were in a studio, I would put a block between your elbows, right? So Zubair, let your elbows stay shoulder width distance apart. So like you're holding a block shoulder width distance apart. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a little too narrow, okay? And then start to pull your elbows back, getting your forearms parallel to the ceiling. Did you pop your ribs? I did. Press your palms together in prayer. And circle that all the way back. 1. Just doing some shoulder warm up to begin. Elbows forward. Hold that imaginary block. Let's go 90-90, you guys. We got a lot of 90-90 stuff going on today. Flip your wrist, elbow squeeze in, tuck bottom ribs. So I have to, every time I have to remind myself, especially if you're flexible, right? And then pull the elbows back. That's your forearm stand someday. Press the palms. Rotate that around, release for 2. Nice. 1 more time, pull that forward, forearms parallel, elbows squeeze, tailbone hooks forward, bottom tip of the sternum in. How far can you pull that back? Reach back, go back, try to pull your arm bones back past your ears. 180-degree opening in your shoulders, press your palms, and circle that all the way back. Grab a block. As you come up to kneeling, if you don't have a block, absolutely no problem. You're gonna do that same thing. Hands on the outsides of the short ends of the block, elbows in. Now, this is important, you guys, from your outer knees, from your outer hips, outer shoulders, we're not gonna break, right? We're gonna stay like in plank. We're gonna stay very strong. My butt is engaged, my core, my bottom ribs are in. Now, pull the block back, okay? Pause. So if you were upside down, we would be starting to get a forearm stand here. Lots of tailbone. And now just from the hinge at your knees, go back as far as you can without breaking in your low back until you feel your quadriceps fire. Swing back. So I'm not just letting my upper back go, and I'm not sticking my butt back. I'm staying in one straight line. Press the palms, squeeze the elbows, tuck the tailbone, arm bones back. Jaw hinge from your knees. Squeeze the butt muscles. 2. Inhale, lift. Reach the block back. 3. If you want to learn how to drop back someday, those are the muscles you need. 2 more. Wrap it back. 4. Reach the block back still. Elbows are pinning in. And 1 more time. Hinge. Reach back. Way back. And come forward. Release your block. Downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Okay, so after that awareness, hopefully you guys, we can put a lot of our focus on our armpits, on our triceps, feeling that lengthen us here. Step, right foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. Back, left knee down. Lots of 90-90 today. So when I say that, I'm always going to mean left knee underneath your left hip. Left hand, back of your left hand comes to your sacrum. Curl the tailbone forward, lift to rise, 90-90 kneeling. So I have this awareness that my low back is long. Take your right hand to your bottom front ribs, guide them forward, down and in, tuck. I look towards my belly button slightly. Then I lift the chest, right arm back up. Can you open that right arm, reaching it back? Hands to the mat, right knee back. Hug an imaginary block between your elbows. Lower your elbows down 1 centimeter from the floor. So my elbows don't touch the floor. They're hovering. Squeeze your elbows, your thumbs towards one another. Lift your knees, turbo dog. So a lot of shaking. Yeah, and then you start to straighten your legs even more as you hover your elbows. 2. And then when you're ready, down dog feels so easy. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, left foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Good. Back right knee down, 90-90. Back of your right hand at your sacrum. Lift to kneeling. But you guys, the more you posteriorly tip your pelvis, you actually stretch the front of your right hip even more for back bends. Hands to your ribs, pull them down and in. Just a gentle reminder, think cat pose. Left arm up. Can you open that left arm without popping the ribs? Squeeze your glutes to engage. Hands to the mat, left knee back, tabletop. Wrap your elbows around and together. If I was in a bad mood, I would make you hold a block between your elbows. Hover, look forward, lift your knees, turbo, down dog. So it's a very strong integration of your arms onto your upper back. 3, hover lower. 2, 1, straighten both arms. Downward facing dog. Inhale, press. Exhale, please. Step right foot forward up in between your hands. Lunge. Good. Back, left knee down. Back of your right hand on your sacrum. Posteriorly tilt your pelvis. Left arm up. Only you can know. Are you pulling back? I'll try not to say it too many more times, but that's your check. That's your focus today. That's your yoga. And then bend both elbows. And can you grab towards fingertips here? Yep, curling the tailbone forward. Lift your chest. Inhale. And when you're ready, hinge forward, finding the back bend now. You get to use your head, pressing your elbow back, lengthening the tricep. Hands to the mat, hovering, right? Or that turbo down dog. One. If you want to do arm balances, if you want to learn how to do pinch and Natarajasana, this is a great prep for two. And it really warms up our shoulders. Downward facing dog. How does that feel in your upper back? Inhale. Exhale, step left foot forward, lunge. Last one, back right knee down, left hand at the sacrum. That's called posterior tilt. Think cat pose as you stack the vertebra. Lifting up, tailbone is forward, bend both elbows. Go Mukasana arms. Reaching towards fingertips, get punched, lovingly punched in the belly, punched in the heart, right? That drawing in. And then when you're ready, take that into your back bend, stretching through the front of the hip flexor. Use your head, pull on the fingertips, widen your elbows open. Hands to the mat, hover, right? Find your turbo dog. One. Inhale, squeeze the elbows. Two. I like to think that my hands are going to wrinkle the mat in between my thumbs. And then from the power of that connection, downward facing dog, holding there, shaking out your head. Do we have anything kind of like burning away here? Okay. Right leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Okay. Keep your right leg lifted, everybody, and now do little pulses, like kicking your leg up higher. That's just a little technique to try to find like a little bit more mobility. And I want you to kick. Squeeze your right glute. 5, 4, kick higher. 3, 2, 1. Lift your right leg as high as you can. Inhale. Exhale, round forward, right knee in towards your nose, towards plank. Nice. Step, right foot forward, lunge. Bend your back left knee 90-90, but now you're hovering. Yeah, so you're gonna feel this as you keep your left shin bone parallel to the floor. Posteriorly tilt your pelvis. Lift to rise. 90-90 hover. Posterior tilt. Kali Mudra, arms forward, squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale, twist to the right. 1. Inhale, Kali Mudra, center. Exhale to the right. 2, unstick, find new space, right? You might be finding new strength in your legs. Leave the weakness behind. Exhale, twist right. Shift it forward. Downward facing dog. So can we start to think of that little burn in the legs? Getting rid of weakness. Walk your hands back towards your feet, back of your mat. Walk it backwards, walk it backwards. Interlace the hands behind the back of your head at the base of your neck, please. Widen your elbows, spreading them open. Now bend your knees, sit low, look forward. Now think cow pose. Think cow pose, think a back bend in your chest. Lift all the way to stand. Arms reach up, press through your palms. Inhale, excellent place. Shift the weight back into the heels, pull that all back. Dive in, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. You're looking at the top of your mat as you walk your hands forward. Knees down, elbows down, bring your palms together to touch. Puppy dog pose with your elbows walking forward, fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. Look towards your belly button. The more you look towards your belly button, the more, like if I was there, I would put that strap around your bottom ribs. I would pull them up into the body and then ask you to walk your knees back more and keep pulling your hips back. Yeah, nice, Zelda, good. So once you've got that connection, stretch it out 180-degree opening in your armpits or even more. Inhale. Exhale, hands plant at the top of your mat. Take your time. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Pulse that out. Kicking by squeezing your left butt cheek. Squeeze the left and kick. 5 and higher. 4, 3. The more you kind of swing that leg up and over, you're going to get a deeper stretch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose, you guys, round. Core, 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 knee to nose, plank pose. Step it forward. Cover your back, right knee. Scoop the tailbone forward. Lift to rise. So lots of inner thighs. Arms reach forward. Kali Mudra. Cut through, you guys. That's your sword. Inhale. Slice through over to the left. 1. Letting that right hip turn forward. Come back to center. What's going on with your ribs as you rotate? 2. How's the lower abdominal muscles? Brace in. Inhale. Get the movement. We're going to do back bends, you guys, today. So we need the upper back to loosen. Hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Stay in the fire. Stay in the heat. Interlace the hands behind the back of your head. Wing your elbows out wide. So now you start to feel your back muscles. Sit the bum back down and low. As you look forward, think cow pose. Scoop all the way up to stand. Arms reach. Inhale. Exhale. Tadasana, back of your mat. I think we should be warm. Personally, I am. Step forward, feet hip width distance apart. Okay, hands in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Okay, elbows in. Take your arm bones up and over. Think forearms stand here, right? So if I were to flip you upside down, your forearms would be on the ceiling, which is the floor, and your legs would be extending up towards the ceiling or towards the sky. That's your inversion. And this helps to teach you find plank pose through the body. Inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. I'll leave it up to you how you want to vinyasa, hop, step, float. Inhale. So we got to get some back bends in here in our up dogs. Lift hips. Down dog. Holding in steadiness there. 1. I wouldn't say it a lot typically in a class, but if you want to start to kind of today, let the top of your head sink down towards the middle of your mat. If that kind of opens that armpit degree for you guys today, and even if I bend my knees, I can do it a little bit more. Look towards your hands. Hop, step, float, top of your sticky mat. Good, nice. Inhale, open there. Exhale, fold. Circle your arms around and up. Press your palms, right? So that is called Urdhva Hastasana. You think like an arrow. Can you press your hands in towards one another until you feel your deltoids fire? Thumbs to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Last one, elbows in. I like to pretend like there's a strap around my elbows, pulling my arm bones up and back. Maybe you look down towards your heart. Pull your fingertips to the back of the room. Inhale, chin away from your chest. Stand tall, think plank pose. Exhale, dive in. Here we go, you guys. Last sun A, fold in. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Exhale, plant hands, hop, step, float. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Lift hips, downward facing dog. So just inviting you. Sometimes I like to grab the edges of my mat, thumbs forward, biceps forward, and see if I can start to sink in even deeper here. Yeah, so you get more of that upper back bend as you stretch your mat open and forward. Good. Look towards your hands. Plant the palms. Top step float, top of your sticky mat. So here we go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Grab opposite arm, opposite elbow. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up parallel to the floor. I like to pretend that my elbows are on a table. Yeah, and I'm letting my head drop through. That's the openness of the chest. Lift all the way to stand. Inhale here. Nice. Yasmin, good. Kirim John. Exhale, fold in. Uttanasana. Inhale, forward, half flat back. Left foot steps back into the lunge. With your left foot stepping back, left knee down, 90-90. Right fingertips inside edge of right foot. Sliding down on the inside of your right shin, can you bring your elbows to the mat? So it's a lizard lunge variation. Strong posterior tilt. Actively squeezing your inner thighs together. Can you press down into your right elbow? Look towards your heart. Big protraction in your upper back. Inhale. Exhale. Walk up onto straight arms. Plant your palms. Tabletop position. From tabletop, toes are tucked, and we don't normally treat it as a pose. We treat it kind of as a transition. Cat pose. So in cat, I'm squeezing my inner knees towards one another. Feeling mula bandha as I lift the pelvic floor. Keep the bottom ribs tucked in. Keep cat, come down onto your elbows. Keep cat as you come down onto your elbows, shoulders over elbows. Look at your knees. Lift your knees 1 centimeter off the mat. Hover, 5, 4, posterior tilt, squeeze your glutes. 3, 2, 1. Straighten your legs, dolphin pose. Yeah. So if I was there, I would stand at the top of your mat. I would put my foot in between your shoulder blades, and I would press your upper back towards the back of your mat. Look towards your hands, everybody. Softly bend your knees. Can you simultaneously straighten your legs, lift your elbows, chaturanga? Inhale, up dog. Nice transition. Hips lift. Downward facing dog. So you guys, there's not a ton of stopping today. So if you need to stop, you take it, or we keep moving. Right foot outside edge of right foot. Lizard lunge this time. Good. Right hand holds the back of your back of your head, not your right head. You only have one head. Right elbow is out to the side. Turn your right elbow up towards the ceiling. Twist. Inhale, facing the right. Exhale, tap your right elbow down, inside edge of right foot. Roll the tailbone forward. Squeeze your core. Inhale, open. Twist. Exhale, round. Keep the hips high. 2. 1 more, please. Inhale, twist, open. Exhale, tap, touch. Inhale, open, and then you extend that right arm as big of a reach as you want. Fingertips to the mat. Step, back foot forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, grab opposite arm, opposite elbow. So I literally have my hands on my elbows, dragging them down. Bend your knees, sweep your elbows forward, let your head hang through, opening the armpits to 180 degrees. Lift all the way to stand. Can you feel your side body long? Exhale, dive in. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Right foot steps back, lunge. Nice work, you guys. From your lunge, let's keep going. Right knee down, 90-90. Lots of posterior, lots of cat. Left arm inside edge of left knee. Go ahead and slide down. So When your right knee goes back, you get a lot of hip flexor, right? But right now I want you to get more the inner thigh, the core work, and the protraction of your upper back. What's going on with your tailbone and those front bottom ribs? Straight arms, walk up onto your hands. From your straight arms, left knee circles back, tabletop. Inhale, table. Exhale, cat pose. Here we go, nice and big. How much can you posteriorly tilt? Can you guys actually narrow through the front of your hip points? Feet cat, come down onto your elbows. Yep. Yeah, so if I do that, I'm pulling my elbows and my knees towards one another to get even more core abdominal work, right? So dragging the knees and elbows towards one another as you lift your side ribs. Hover your knees, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dolphin pose, hips up and back. If you want it to be more strengthening, you keep your shoulders over your elbows. If you want it to be more flexibility, you bend your knees and you press your chest. Yep, think of it like an upper back bend. Now look towards your hands. This is that coordinated movement. You try to simultaneously shift forward, lift your elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Hips lift. Downward facing dog. And we have one more little thing, you guys, and then we totally switch just into back bends. Look forward, left foot steps, outside edge of left hand. So this twisting stuff is supposed to finish getting your upper back and shoulders ready. Left arm bends, pull the back of your head, rotate open, twist. You're turning toward your inner left knee, tap it down. 1, get your breath going, inhale. Right, so this kind of puts you guys at halfway through class. And we switch into back bends as you open. Last one, tap that down. And the elbow reaches up, and then you can straighten your arm, big twist. Fingertips to the mat. Back foot steps forward, please. Inhale, lots of length and space. Exhale, let's fold in, constantly tucking those bottom ribs in. Every time your bottom ribs touch your thighs, you try to tuck in deeper, straightening your legs. Grab opposite arm, opposite elbow. Sit your bum low, lift your elbows up towards the ceiling, arm bones pull back. I want you to think of it like a chair pose. As you bring your upper arm bones, yep, so keep lifting your chest, Yasmin, good. Yep, pull the arm bones back. Inhale, exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to look forward, half flat back. Step, left leg back, lunge. Back left knee down. Right elbow, right knee. All right, so changing gears. Got to get a little bit more into the back bends now. Left arm circles back, thumb is up, fold your left leg in, bend the elbow. So you can either flip your grip, and if you know what that is, right, you know how to do it, you kind of turn your fingertips out, forward and around. Now you guys know that if you want to open the front of your body, you have to contract the back of your body. So squeeze your left hamstring, activate your left glute, and then can you feel that little tuck in that gives you some resistance to open out into? Inhale. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Lift your back left knee. You are looking forward. Shoot left leg through. Come all the way down. So Urdhva Dhanurasana is one of the best examples of an arm up overhead back bend. Plant your hands alongside your ears. Elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. Lift your hips and come on up. Urdhva Dhanurasana. So we tend to wait to the end of class to do these. Do them now. Now use your feet, you guys. Stretch your mat forward with your feet.
As you try to stretch your mat forward with your feet, does it open your heart more? 3, push the legs towards straighter. 2, drive the heart to the back of the mat. Chin to chest, lower, slow.
I leave it up to you. Rock to down dog or rock to your vinyasa if you have your power. Inhale, up dog. Lift hips. Down dog. Right foot steps forward up in between your hands, lunge. Back left heel spins to flat. Warrior one with your arms in Kali Mudra. How's, like, what's going on with the pinky edge sides of your hands, with the triceps wrapping forward, curling the tailbone forward, as much of a back bend as you want to make that. Fingertips to the mat. Come onto the ball of the back foot. This is probably new for all of you. Left knee down. Maybe not, but probably. Left knee down. Swing your left foot over until you're seated on your left heel, right? This is called Shiva squat. Today we're doing like Om Namah Shivaya. This is like dedicated. So my left sitting bone is on my left heel. My right knee is open. That's simple enough. Now, right fingertips forward. Technically, you guys, it's right fingertips forward. I end up grabbing my mat because otherwise I fall over, okay? So I grab my mat for some resistance. Left hand, slide your left hand underneath your right elbow. And can you lower all the way down onto your left ear and your left shoulder? Yeah, so that should be a nice broadening of your upper back, along with the twist. As you press your inner knees open to get the inner thighs. Walk back up to center. Nice job, you guys. Pivot turn, top of your mat, 90-90. Back foot steps forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Grab opposite arm, opposite elbow. This is the last time you're going to do this. Bend your knees, drop your hips, scoop low, but then this time keep lifting your elbows up. Think of it like a chair pose. So we're strengthening the back muscles as you pull those arm bones back. Exhale, dive in, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Right leg, please step it deeply back, lunge. Wiggle those right toes back, wiggle the right knee back. Lower your back right knee and we come up, left elbow, left knee, starting into more back bending. So pick your poison, right foot draws in. You can flip your grip. You can just hold the foot. And the more you turn into it, meaning path of least resistance is to open to the right. Turning into the resistance is to turn that right hip forward, turn the belly towards your inner thigh. How are your bottom ribs? Are you just getting the flexibility from your spine, or can you get it from your quad? Inhale. Exhale, release. Fingertips to the mat. Lift your back knee. Look forward. Shoot through. Come to lie down. Second one. So I like to think like less thinking, more doing. Just plant those hands, you guys. So these are arms up, overhead, back bends today. Lift your hips up. Here we go. Urdhva Dhanurasana, toes in, heels out. You can pulse back. You can walk your feet in closer. You can stretch the mat forward with your feet. 3, 2, maybe you walk your hands toward your feet. Chin to chest. Lower down. Knees draw in. Rocket forward, down dog or vinyasa. Leaving it up to you guys. So there's a little bit of like, right, what's going on for your Phoenix? How much power, how much energies does your Phoenix still have, right? Press hips up and back. Okay, left foot steps forward up in between your hands. Back right heel spins to flat. Lift up, warrior one, lots of tailbone, lots of collecting of your bottom ribs. And then Kali Mudra. slice up and back. So even though I'm going backwards, I'm pressing through the front of my left shin bone. Top of the left shin is pushing forward. Top of my right thigh is pressing back as you curl into it. Big back bend, arms are trying to go past your ears. Fingertips to the mat. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Back right knee down. Shiva, squat. Right foot spins in. So your knees are still pretty wide. This is your Shiva. I take my left fingertips to the floor, or I grab my mat so I don't fall over. And then my right hand, slide it behind, reach behind my left elbow, and can you come all the way down onto your left ear, your right ear, and your right shoulder. That's a nice prep for like a skandasana or twist. Release. As you unwind, you should be at the top of your mat in 90-90. Left leg circles back. Elbows down to the mat. Palms press. Drag your hips backwards. Yeah, so instead of puppy dog, you guys, try to keep dragging your hips backwards and go all the way to child's pose. Yeah, so if I was there, I would stand behind you and I would keep pulling your hips almost to your heels and you would feel that big opening. Okay, hands at the top of your mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward plank. Bend your elbows. Come all the way down onto the floor. Point your toes. Come onto the tops of the feet. Okay, so Zuba, this is going to start looking kind of familiar to you. Bend your right knee. Squeeze your right heel. So I'm not going to torture you, but if you imagine you had a block there and you're trying to squeeze, that's your hamstring engaging. Lift your chest up like a cobra. Good. So my hips are down. My heel is squeezing in. My shoulders are looping back. I'm pushing the floor and you're trying to tip your head back toward your toes. From here, left knee in, directly underneath your left hip. Yes. Right leg kicks up and back. Pull the chest forward, bend right knee, left hand grabs right ankle. So we're going to be moving towards Natarajasana, you guys. But being here, you're more stable. There's not as much balance involved. You can drive your knee up higher. You can see what muscles you can fire. And instead of looking up with your chin, look up with your heart. 3, 2, 1. Left hand down. Keep your right leg lifted. Left toes tuck. 3-legged down dog. Inhale, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee in towards your nose. That should help clear out your low back. Step. Right foot forward up in between your hands. As you shift forward, bend your left knee. Reach back with your left hand. Grab your inner left ankle. Right arm up. Natarajasana variation. I like to take my right hand to my right knee, right, and stabilize there so I can work more of the back bend. Yeah, leaning forward. Yasmin, hold your right ankle if you can. Keep letting that right hand slide down. Yeah, until you can hold the ankle. Nice. You guys, big pose, I know. Release. Yep, step your left foot back. I'm just gonna let everybody meet here, right? Because that was a lot, okay? So hands at the top of your mat, elbows down, right leg lifts. Now, bring your fingertips together to touch. Yep, so you bring your fingertips together, palms face down, Yasmin. I like my palms on the mat. Yeah, good. It's like I pretend like if you were in the grass, Yasmin, like you could grip, like you could hold onto the grass. Now step your left foot in and remember those kicks, those pulses. See if you can give yourself a few kicks up towards your pincha Mayurasana. Yeah. And so hopefully you kind of feel all that rib connection. Downward facing dog. Right? Big class today, right? Urdhva back bends, everything here. Inhale forward into plank. Bend your elbows lower all the way down. Press the pubic bone into the mat. That helps with low back length. Point toes, bend left knee. If I was there, I would put a block between your left heel and your left butt so my hamstring actually cramps, you guys. And then lift up. Ardha means half. Hamsa Asana. It's half swan pose, right? Swans have long necks as you tip back. Good. Drive right knee forward underneath your right hip. Left leg, kick it up and back. Good. Lots of butt muscles there. Lift that leg higher. Bend your left knee. Right hand reaches back. I grab my inner ankle. Think of that as prep for your Natarajasana 1. Inhale. What's going on with your hand on the floor and your knee on the floor? They should be dragging towards one another for more stability. 2. Inhale. Without slingshotting, release. Right hand to the mat. Right toe tuck. Split that out. 3-legged down dog. Inhale, split. Exhale, left knee in towards your nose. Round. Bottom ribs are in. Shift towards plank. Step. Left foot forward. I like in the transition to try to come right up into bending that right knee, holding the inner ankle. Natarajasana, you are standing on your ego. And what I mean by that is that it can be sloppy. It means you can fall out of it. You are not identified with holding the pose. You're not identified with it being perfect. You're on this path, right, of learning as you fold in. 3, 2, 1. Right foot steps back. Elbows bend as you lift your left leg. 3-legged down dog. Fingertips come together. Grip the mat, elbows are in. Maybe walk your right foot in a little bit higher. Tuck through your bottom rib so you have that 180-degree control. And take a couple scissoring kicks up towards your pincha. Love it. Nice control through the ribs, you guys. Yep. Looking to stack the joints. Ooh. Downward facing dog. Okay, so I wanted to do one more round through, but I think that's kind of pushing it. So let's just stop, hands and knees, and let's explore. If you have a strap, let's explore here so we have a little bit of time to explore Natarajasana. So from here, instead of doing like all that like Ardha Hamsa and stuff, just put the strap over the top of your left foot. Okay. And then we're going to take the left leg up with your right hand. You're going to reach back and you're going to try arm up overhead. So my left leg is up, my right arm is reaching back. So you put the hand. So Yasmin, try to hold your circle. Instead of pulling on the tail end of the strap, can you insert your hand into the circle and do your flip grip, winging the elbow out to the side Yes, there we go. Yep, so you guys make that loop. I really don't like it when people pull on the tail, because what happens is then the loop starts getting smaller and smaller, right? And you actually lose your leverage. Okay, so Zubair, you don't have to rush, take your time. So everybody explore that once on your left side. And then explore it on the right side. Right? And this could be a good time too. If you wanted to try without the strap, you could go same arm, right? So like Papalinjasana. Yeah, you could try that there. Yep, good. So Zubair, think of putting your left hand down and doing it with your right hand. So I lift my left foot, I put the strap over. I'm already grabbing the loop, and pretty big loop going on right here. A pretty big loop, so I can practice that arm back overhead back bend. It's so much of like our wheel poses. Nice. So opposite arm, opposite elbow. Hey, if you've kind of lost where I am, if you want to come back, I'm going to switch over to the right leg. So what I do is I pick up my right knee. I bend my right foot. I take the strap with my left hand over my right foot. I put my left hand through the loop, and then I practice winging my elbow out, wrapping it in to take. And it's so much easier, guys, to practice. There's less ego here, less falling over. Yeah, pull the arm bone up and back. Looks pretty good. Nice. Really. Okay. I'm going to keep a block nearby. Press the stand, you guys. It'll be a quick cool down, but after all of that, I have to let you try Natarajasana, or the whole thing's like I feel like the whole class is a bust, right? If you're done, take a Paschimottanasana forward fold. Zubair, you might be done because this is like your 20th Natarajasana. But if you want to come to stand, you guys, and now try that. Same foot, same arm, Natarajasana. You could give that a go here. So there's lots of variations, right? In Bikram, they lean forward. Bikram style Natarajasana is bringing your chest forward. Okay, then there's other styles of Natarajasana where you keep your chest up and you lift your knee, right? So that's depending on what you're going for. And remember, you guys, this is about dissolving the ego. We don't have to, definitely not one that I pop out of bed. Easy and able to do. I'm going to switch over into my left foot, bending my right knee. You can always hold the ankle and practice the single leg standing balance from there, or using the strap. Everybody has your biggest variation, Natarajasana. How's the breath in this pose? Yeah. And really, from the top of your mat, I'd like you to slide down through Malasana. Right? Malasana. You can always use that when you've been doing a lot of deep back bends. Maybe you even reach your fingertips forward and feel more of the round, the tucking in. Right? So whenever we posteriorly tilt our pelvis, maybe some of you can almost get your elbows to the floor. Right? That will really round you down and in. And then to release, reach your hands back behind you, bum all the way down. Please drop back onto your elbows. Draw your knees towards your shoulders. Hover your legs forward, straight legs. So, Zubair, yeah, you can be on your elbows, yeah, for a little more support. So this should be much softer. Draw it in, extend it forward. So I'm always just a little careful after some like deep low back work like that we always reintegrate the low back with a little core as you extend. Suck the belly button back in, and what's going on with those bottom ribs? Knees in, lower all the way down. Final pose, happy baby pose. Right, so it depends. Sometimes I like to hold my inner ankles. When I hold my inner ankles, I feel like I can get more pull, more drive down. And when I hold my inner ankles, I actually like to try to straighten one leg and then the other, right? I can kind of get a little bit more hamstring out of this pose as well. But don't let it be fueled by ego. Let it be the thing that kind of clears out those kind of last embers of practice. And then release, please. Stretching your legs to straight. Finding your rest in Shavasana. So your heart in your lifetime will beat, as long as we live to a decent old age, will beat over 3 billion times. You feel the heart beating in your chest. The way it's constantly kind of circling out the old, refreshing, making space for the new. So you come back to your intention, right? If you feel yourself kind of like rising out of that practice, is any new kind of mindset you'd like to take with you? You wiggle your fingers and toes and stretch your arms back up overhead. Yeah. And hopefully they float up overhead a little bit easier, or at least with kind of like more awareness of arm up overhead poses. And then you bend your knee, roll to your right, and press up to find seated. So hands folded in front of the heart center. And it happens a lot. Like students will say, like, I want a hip opening class, but the hips have lots of parts to open, right? The outer hip, the inner hip, the front of the hip. And it's the same thing with the shoulders, right? Arm up overhead is a total different type of shoulder stretch than like arms back behind us, right? So kind of knowing where your tightness lies in your upper back and shoulders. Taking your thumbs to your third eye, bowing forward to seal your practice.